Hey, this is Andrew with SpackleBucket Moto. I'm doing a quick gear review on the Aerostich Elkskin Gauntlet Glove. I bought these earlier this year. I guess I can say that since it is still 2019 here on New Year's Eve. But I bought these earlier in the year when I first got back into street riding and my rivets were on their way out. I picked these up from Aerostich.com up in Minnesota. $87 MSRP. These are the brown and natural. They come in all natural. These are a size 10.5. I generally wear a extra large and everything else that I ride with. Fox Paw Detectors, Revet, Joe Rocket, Alpine Stars, all that stuff. It's about where I'm at. Decent hand here, but it's, it is what it is. Everyone's got their own special hand, which I'll get to some sizing details here in a minute when we dive a little deeper into these gloves. But so far I'm pretty happy with these, other than a few minor details. The inside of these is extremely comfortable, which I think is the number one reason to get these, is the fabric on them is so comfortable. They're not super big in padding. As you can see here, there's just a light strip of padding on the top on your knuckles here and a very little bit on your palm. Nothing up in the fingers, nothing there. And while these are the gauntlet one, it is rather short, and they do have some that are even shorter than that, so not even a full gauntlet. But these I've ridden in temps ranging from mid-30s to upper 80s, and I've ridden in rains, not exactly torrential downpours, but long enough to where you'd go, do I want something waterproof? These actually kept my fingers nice and dry, and even when I got really sweaty when I was doing some dirt stuff on my 350, my hands didn't get like, they didn't get like that sweaty, slimy feeling on the inside. I'm assuming due to the natural fabric of these and allowing it to breathe. Now, I think the other great perk of these gloves in particular, and other Aerostich Elkskin or the Roper gloves, whatever other lines they have, is this right here, the squeegee, the ultimate squeegee. So if you're riding in the rain, generally you're having to go, tilt your head to the right and left as you're building up with water. Not anymore. You just use this little squeegee, and it's a tiny little piece of rubber, and just choop, choop, 2 quick moves, and you've got yourself free and clear to look through the visor. I love it. I wish every glove would have it, but they don't. So some of the things that I'm not super thrilled about so far with these is, one was the fit. So as I noted, I'm an extra large on most every glove. These I have in a size 10.5. And so when you put them on, I've got a bit of bunching up in the palm here, and then the fingers feel a little bit loose. So I guess I could have went to a size down per Aerostich's website, and then soaked them in water and put them on and rode so they like conform to my fingers. But based on their sizing chart that they printed out, it just didn't seem like a size down would have been what would have worked for me. Maybe I should have given that a go, but I didn't. I mean, all things considered with that, they aren't too bad. And despite the bunching up in the palm here, which if you can see it, punches up, bunches up, kind of rolls over. But when you're riding the bike, you don't really actually feel that. So given that it's there, it's not too big of a deal. It's a very thin material here, so it's, even though you got the bunching, it's not too bad. The other issue that I have with these comes down to the gauntlet itself. It's too short, and given how thin the fabric is, if you can see here, is it doesn't want to go over the jacket. Now this is just a standard winter jacket, a little bit on the bulky side, because being in the Midwest, it's flipping cold again. But when you go to put this over your moto jacket, it doesn't want to fit. So you're fighting with it to get it over, and then you're doing this, and then that little bit of movement, if you don't get that tightened enough, it's going to want to peel off of your jacket, and then you've got wind and air and stuff going into your jacket and over. I know some people will put their jacket over the glove. I generally go with gauntlet over the jacket so that anything flows up and over. So depending on your preference, it may be an issue for you. The other thing I've run into so far is durability on that strap. Maybe I like to tighten things up a bit too much over my jacket, but the Velcro strap holding the gauntlet together is already starting to rip at the seams here. You can come up, take a quick look at this. You know, it's just peeling off there. A quick stitch would address that, but you know, for an $87 made in USA glove, I would kind of expect that to be a little bit better, but it is what it is. Now, the other main thing I'm not too thrilled about with these, especially considering these are my commuter gloves. They're supposed to be easy, just like everything else you want to have. When you're trying to run out the door in the morning to get to work, you want to be able to toss in your stuff quick and easy and focus on the ride. You don't want to be focusing on little goofy things with your gear you're putting on. And that's one thing that I feel like you're really dealing with these gloves. It's this right here, the wrist strap. Putting this in here, it bunches over and doesn't always want to get through the little retainer. So that's not too big of a deal, because if you're going to put the first one on, and out of superstition, I'm always putting left glove on first. But you go to put this on, and this droops down under your wrist. So you're having to like go down over, get that in there. So not too bad, right? All right, you could say that I'm being nitpicky here, but it's one of the things I've found as I've worn them a handful of times here now. It's when you go to put the second one on, it's where the issue is. So as generally this flops out, and as I noted, the gloves are a bit floppy in the fingers. And so when you go to loop this on there, you're having to fight with threading that through and getting that on. No, it's not like having to thread a needle like you're doing some sewing, but it is one of those things where it's that extra little bit as you're trying to get out the door, as I said, can be rather frustrating. I feel like they could have went maybe a ½ inch longer on this, or just done something to help it retain on there better. I've tried in the past, pull these off really quick, to go ahead and take this and kind of pinch it over so that it creates a little hook there and doesn't want to pull out. But every time I do that, you know, since my hands are a bit wider, I put my hand in the glove and it always wants to pop that out. So those are the really big nitpicks. You know, I wish that the gauntlet was a bit longer, a bit sturdier, and the Velcro was a little more durable. And then the wrist strap were a little more robust or a little more convenient. But for a daily use glove, all things considered, made in USA, $87, not too bad. They're comfortable, very soft. They handle a wide range of temperatures. They could use a little improvements here and there, but that's, you know, I think everything can. But, you know, if you want to check something out, made in USA, conforms to your hand, the Aerostich Elkskin Gauntlet Gloves, you know, check them out on their website. If you have any questions or comments about them, post below in the comments. Otherwise, like, subscribe, point to all those buttons every which way, or check out some of our other videos. I'm working on posting up some more reviews on some different gear, tires, and all that stuff. So with that said, I'm Andrew from SpackleBucket Moto. Peace.